Hello and welcome to Newsworthy Learning for Teachers. I am your host, Mike Newsworthy, and today we're going to discuss a very important topic in education, and that is student engagement. Just how do you engage students in your classroom? Unfortunately, most engagement begins and ends with the teacher lecture. These whole group instructional strategies typically aren't that effective. However, there are teachers that are using new approaches following the universal design for learning, such as problem-based learning or project-based learning, game or challenge-based learning, which taps into our digital natives' desire to use technology, or blended learning, following the 5E instructional model, which definitely increases student engagement and makes learning more student-centered. In this session, we're going to take a look at problem-based learning, which is a strategy that focuses on authentic and relevant problems for students and challenges them to dig deep into their knowledge and find a creative solution. Before we get into the specifics of this problem-based learning unit, let's take a look at the characteristics of problem-based learning. Let's talk for a moment about the characteristics of problem-based learning and how it differs from other student-centered models. At the core of problem-based learning is the problem. The problem needs to be complex and relevant to the student. Problems can come from case studies or scenarios or real-world challenges. The key is there are no wrong answers, only multiple solutions. Many students often inaccurately believe that complex problems require very complex solutions. This is simply not the case. Some of the best solutions to problems are very simple. The key for you as the teacher is to stress that there are many possible solutions. Some just might work better than others, but that students need to explore all possible solutions. This can cause some difficulty. Students will need help. So you as the teacher need to understand your role. You're a shepherd. Not that students are sheep. They are intelligent and able to do most of the work on their own. However, you will need to guide them in the direction of the best solution and to provide support for them as they struggle through the task. Students will have moments of confusion, but that can be an opportunity for growth and learning. You as the teacher provide support. You need to be well grounded in the information necessary to find the solution, but always remember you are there to support the learner. This problem-based learning unit is designed for 5th grade science students and focuses on energy, renewable and non-renewable sources of energy, as well as conservation. Students will be provided with a scenario in which they are tasked to help their school reduce its consumption and usage of electricity, therefore needing less energy. Students will research the many different non-renewable sources of energy that are commonly used today, such as oil, natural gas, or coal. They will talk about the advantages and disadvantages of relying on these energy resources. Students will also research and discuss pollution and the impact that it has on the environment and the impact that it could have on their community as well. Finally, students will research different renewable, cleaner forms of energy and create a proposal for those types of energy resources that could be used to create electricity or power for their school. Once all the research is done and the students have discussed and processed all the information, the final phase of problem-based learning is to present the solutions to the problem. Now, this can be done in many ways, but one key point is to always encourage students to provide multiple solutions in their presentation, to present the big ideas to the group. Now, this may be done in the form of a presentation, a video, or it may be a letter. In this case, it might be in a letter proposing certain recommendations to the school principal. Whatever the final product is in problem-based learning, one key skill that needs to be practiced is presentation. 21st century learners must not only be able to gather information and process it, but also to present it. and to convince or persuade an audience to accept their viewpoint or at least to consider it. And that is problem-based learning. One final thing about problem-based learning, it's not just the latest fad or some new instructional technique that you want to try out. It's actually grounded in very sound teaching principles. But one thing that problem-based learning does is it makes learning relevant for the student. If students are going to take time to research a topic, process it, discuss it with their peers, and then put together some sort of proposal that they present, well, then it's pretty relevant to them. So why not take their work, those proposals, and pass them on to a decision maker? Perhaps it's the campus principal who would be interested in ways to conserve energy. Maybe the campus decision-making committee. You would be surprised how empowered students become when they believe that their ideas and opinions have value. All right, well, that brings us to the end of this episode of Newsworthy Learning for Teachers. I am your host, Mike Newsworthy, and until next time, remember, make your instruction newsworthy.